I have had videos out on my Tesla Model X, which I bought about 1 year ago. And I did a 5,000 mile update on that car. What I loved about the car, I compared it to my Range Rover. You could check out my Range Rover custom exotic car review as well. And then you could also check out my original Tesla Model X purchasing experience, everything from buying it online to picking it up with your app. And then I've had some videos in between. And today I'm doing a 25,000 mile update on having the Tesla Model X as a family of 4, as well as an update as to where the car is with the build that I had. Originally, with the Tesla Model X, I had planned to wrap the whole car in satin black. I put on some wheels. I did that video as well. Check it out on the channel. But I am going to give you an update where we are today with my Tesla Model X. Some people have asked me about it, and this is a great video to go ahead and give you an update on what I love about the Tesla Model X, some things I hate, and some pretty scary things that have happened while owning the Tesla Model X and driving it. So before I get into this video, I always ask or remind you guys to show some support, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you have not done so already, and let's get into this Tesla Model X 25,000 mile update, and hopefully you enjoy this video. Any questions, always ask and comment below. Let's get into this video. Okay, so the Tesla Model X, originally I've had the Range Rover. The Range Rover got a lot of attention. It was matte black or satin black wrapped. It had 24-inch Forgiato wheels. It had a custom exhaust made by Quicksilver, which makes exhaust for Bugattis and other cars out there, which actually I recently sold to another Range Rover enthusiast. So if you ever need to sell any parts, always go on the forums of that specific car and list what you have to sell. It's much faster than Craigslist. So my Range Rover exhaust left. But I did have that car. I did do a great review of that car, and I do miss that car. But during that time, we purchased a Tesla Model X about a year ago, and we were excited for the technology. You may have seen my original review, but I got the 6-seater version with the stock wheels that were silver, and I had some big plans for the car in terms of upgrades and things that I wanted to do. So some of those upgrades were actually met, and then I got restricted with time and scheduling and everything else in between, so I didn't finish the car. Although today it looks very sexy, I find the car to be very attractive. We did put a tint all around the car. We did tint the windshield with a heat reflective or ceramic windshield tint as well to give that comfort, because it does get way too hot in the Teslas, and ceramic seems to be the recommended choice all over the internet. So I did go ahead and do that. I did put my ADV1 wheels on it. There's a video on that. And then I also wrapped it and blacked it out, took a lot of the chrome out, and we did that in our warehouse. So originally I got a quote for someone to do it around $1,500 just to do a blackout. I thought that was ridiculous. I went ahead and bought a kit on Amazon on how to black out your own Tesla, and one of my employees here was able to do it, as they always work with our car wraps and vehicle wraps to remove them, etc. So I thought it was a good fit. It did take quite a while. It's still not done. I still want to wrap the hood of the car in satin black while keeping the rest of the car with the original black color that it came with. I think that would look super. If you think that would look great, comment below and let me know if the satin black hood wrap only with the rest of the satin black and the satin wheels will look great with shiny black or the natural black color of the vehicle. So let me get into some of the things I love about the Tesla Model X and some of the advantages I've seen having a Tesla Model X in my 25,000 miles, which I put on in 1 year. First and foremost, the technology in the Tesla is second to none. The screen never feels outdated. The heads-up display, or I should say the front display for the driver, feels great. It tells you the temperature, the song being played, navigation. It's all customizable, so you can move all of the menus to anything that you really want in the front display. The big screen on the side is very good for navigation. It's great for audio, climate control. It's really intuitive. The speaker system when playing music is excellent. Excellent. I would say it's a great speaker system. However, when talking on the phone, I give it about a 2 out of 10. That's how bad it is. And it may be just my vehicle. I've complained to Tesla a lot. People can't hear me, I can't hear them. I'm turning up my volume while I am on a phone conversation to 10 or 11, which it peaks out, I think, at 11. And as soon as that call ends and the music kicks on and plays, my ears bleed from the blast of the music. So that is so annoying with the Tesla. And one of the downsides of the technology that is in the system, which I'm surprised. So the Bluetooth part for voice calls are like having the cheapest headset you could buy on Amazon, and they seem to not care every time I bring it in. Going back to what I love about the car is the autopilot or the full self-driving. Now, technically, it's not full self-driving. So, and if there's a construction going on in the area that you live in or on the freeway, be careful, because this autopilot or the full self-driving mode will swerve your car in directions. It's going to panic, it's going to freak out, and you could potentially get in a car accident, etc. Yes, you have to have two hands on the wheel at all times. Yes, I have seen people buy a weight for weighing down the steering wheel so you don't have to hold the steering wheel at all times while being alert. But if you're on a construction area, the autopilot is pretty much not useful. If there are no lanes that the cameras could read, you're going to not be able to engage the autopilot anyway. On top of that, this full self-driving in the streets where there are left turns and right turns and things of that nature, it's really not as reliable. I find myself exiting a freeway, or the autopilot will actually exit the freeway for you, which is a great convenience feature. However, once you exit, the car cannot make that left turn. It cannot read, say, a left lane from the side, and it has a hard time doing that. So then it freaks out and you have to grab the wheel and make the turn yourself. So it's not there yet to take you from point A to point B without any involvement from you. And that is going to be the future, where cars are going to be not requiring potentially have a steering wheel. You're going to get in, it's going to seat even more people because now you don't need all the space, and you're going to punch in the navigation, where you're going, where you're going to be dropped off at, and the car is going to self-park itself. Then you're going to summon it. It's going to pick you up and your family, take you home. Brilliant, right? It's going to happen, and it's going to save a lot of DUIs, and it's going to be just tremendous, where you can engage with your family versus being stressed out in traffic. The Tesla is not there yet. It still needs input from the user. I find myself to not use full self-driving on the streets, but really use it on the freeway. And this is where the beautiful part comes in. I've taken 2 trips to Los Angeles from San Francisco. Again, you can check out one of those videos on my channel. And during those trips, I was able to really relax, enjoy the drive, enjoy everything about the drive. Even in traffic, when we hit traffic, I was not worried because I was not driving the car. The Tesla's doing great managing this curvy road, and so far so good. Beautiful scenic drive, very relaxing with the autopilot. I am a little cautious with these curves, so I hold the wheel, and I'm enjoying the ride so far. The Tesla will keep its distance properly. It will change lanes. It will do everything, stop and accelerate without any input from you. So if you're on the freeway and you're in between 2 lanes, it reads those lanes very well. You're going to have no problem. Going on the freeway on any long trip makes it that much easier and better. One thing is, the autopilot or the full self-driving, it only works very well at about 70 to 75 miles an hour, or even slower, I should say. However, when you get to 80 miles an hour or 85 miles an hour, it gets a little scary. It's as if it's almost delayed to make that curve in the freeway, and you start panicking. Maybe it's too fast for your own good. You want control again, and you start freaking out. So I tend to keep it between 70 to 80 at times miles per hour if I know the road. If I don't know the road, I like to be not in the fastest lane all the way to the left, but to one over it, because it usually has very clear white lines. And on top of that, it does not have construction as to where you see people working on the shoulder often. Sometimes they have these buoys that come out. That freaks the Tesla out. It could stop all of a sudden on the freeway. It gets really close to those buoys, and I personally do not like using the Tesla in the very left lane on roads that I do not know how they are or I've never driven on before. So you got to be careful or be very alert. Another thing I love about the Tesla is the battery charging. So far we go to bed, and the Model X had an update where you could actually charge at a certain off-peak hour. So your charging power is billed less by your electric company. So ours tends to charge around 2 to 3 a.m. until 7 a.m. These are the low peak hours. Before, they didn't have this update in the Tesla, and our battery was charging as soon as we plugged it in when we got home. So our bill came out to a whopping $800 in 1 month. just probably the same amount as gas, and I was shocked. Now with the off-peak charging, we have a car that quotes 320 miles ready to go every day, and it's great to not have to visit a gas station and see all that dirt and wait in line and just be late to everything you go to. One less thing I worry about in the morning, and I love the Tesla or electric cars for that matter. So that is a big plus for me, and I don't think for a commuter I could ever go back. Another thing that's wonderful about the Tesla Model X is the third row or the 6-seater configuration. Our kids are able to go right in the back of the car. We have our car seats in the back, and then those seats can fold as well, giving you a lot of luggage space. If you're heading on a trip, camping, Tahoe, whatever, you got a lot of space back there, and the two kids could sit in the two middle seats with the 6-seat configuration. It makes it easy to go in and out, and we had grandparents and parents sit in that middle row, making it super accessible at all times. So that is a plus, and I think I love that feature so much. Now, some things that I may not like as much, or I hope Tesla improves on, and it seems that they are improving on with the next version of the Model X. The screen that goes vertical is problematic often. With entertainment, it lags and freezes so many times. In fact, that screen is not really meant for any of the entertainment purposes that they have. The problem with a screen that's vertical is, imagine a television that's vertical. You're going to have a very narrow movie display or anything display on that screen. So the top space and the bottom space of the screen is now not usable. So when they do the 16:9 on the vertical screen, you're only getting a screen about this big, which is like 9 inches, to watch the Netflix show or whatever it is that is part of the entertainment in the Tesla. So now, if you notice, even the Model S or the Model X, they're all going to 16:9 formats, which is typical of like a television screen that you see today, which is a great upgrade. So the old models that are 2021 and before, 2022 and before, those screens are not efficient for any of the entertainment that's built into the Tesla. Another thing with the Model X, I don't like the fact that you can't have a roof rack. So if you're going, say, to Tahoe or any ski place and you want to put a rack of skis up there, you can't. You have to get some type of thing for the rear tow hitch, which is available, and Tesla sells that hitch as well for your snowboards and skis, but I find that to be inconvenient to store it in the back vertically, etc., and also exposed. So you can't put one of those cargo spaces on top of your car because you can't have headrails as the doors go up. The doors, I love those doors going up. Every so often I still get kids pointing at them going, wow, look mom, look dad, and those doors are still kind of new to some people, even though the Model X has been around for years. But it is great to get in and out, and I've had no problems with getting out of the Model X in garages or in any type of situation where I feel like there's no room. People still love to see inside the car. It doesn't give you that wow factor as that Range Rover did. I don't think it's a super exotic car or a sexy car to the level of Range Rover or maybe a Bentley or a Rolls Royce, maybe even an Audi Q7, but it does attract attention, especially with those doors being open, and they're so convenient. One thing about the doors I dislike is I often hit my head on the doors. All of a sudden, the wife will close one part of her door and it makes the same sound for closure, and I think that door is coming to a close and I'm standing under it, so you'll catch me doing something like this all the time. So I am constantly afraid of that door coming in and bumping my head, and it's happened so many times, and then you'd find me rubbing my head for like the next 15 minutes. The ride comfort of the car is really nice. It is a bit noisy, so you are getting a lot of that wind noise. The car is smooth and it's a soft ride, it's quiet. I'm used to that Range Rover Quicksilver exhaust howl from the exhaust. It's really loud, it's deep, it's powerful, it makes you excited. You don't get that with the Tesla. It's a quiet ride, it's kumbaya, we're getting there ethically and environmentally friendly, and it's great, it's quiet. I think it's perfect for a commuter, to be honest with you, but it's not as exciting as that exhaust going down the freeway. Let's talk about the long range speed. Before, I wanted to get the P100D or their Plaid version, but I decided that long range is better. And boy, was I right about that. Because even though Tesla estimates that you get 320 miles on your battery every morning, according to my car, that's nowhere near the truth. In fact, I feel like I get half of that or maybe 60% of that. So 160 to maybe 200 miles is what we're getting realistically before we're panicking to charge the car. Fortunately, I have not had to use their superchargers in the city, only once or twice. So it has lasted me pretty much the whole day with everything we've done. But if you forget to charge your car, the next morning you get out and it says you have 250, 260 miles. You cut that in half. You've got only about 125 to 160 miles. And that sometimes is not enough. So you may need to charge your car. We have one of those fast chargers at home, which works great, built in, and it's great if you don't forget to plug in your car. In the future, I know these cars are going to come out with even more mileage as they're working on better batteries. That's going to be exciting. I can't wait for that as well. And I think that would be a great thing. Now the bad. This is where Tesla's going to hate me because there are so many issues with this vehicle and so many issues their customer service department does not resolve. First and foremost is that screen. That screen will lag. The buttons you press will not open. For example, we pull up to drop off our kids as parents can't go inside schools anymore. And we're pressing the button to open the door maybe 4 or 5 times. The screen froze here. Can't touch anything, do anything again. Can't go change lights, adjust climate, actually do anything related to the car, really. Because of the delay and the reaction, the door may half open or pop, and then because I pressed it several times, it's delayed, it'll close back up, and then it won't open, it'll close back up. It just looks embarrassing. In fact, I think the teachers had it enough with these Teslas not opening when we pull up to drop off the kids or anything of that matter. The screen freezes. You can't do anything at times. You can't adjust your climate. You can't accept a call. You cannot enter navigation. The delays are horrible. You can't adjust volume. You name it. It's so bad that you have to reset the vehicle and pull over. All right, so I'm driving. The screen is frozen, but now even the turn signals don't work, which is pretty crazy. So it's not flashing turn signals. I just turned it on here. Nothing is flashing on the side or the car. Very big safety hazard. It's stuck at 7 miles per hour as the indicator. I'm on the freeway. That is not good. Believe it or not, it's that bad. With the screen freezing, we've had some crazier instances with the Tesla. The other day, I had a meeting to work on my warehouse project. I was scheduled to leave, and I was not able to move the car. In fact, I could not shift the car to reverse. So the current model has the paddle like Mercedes to switch reverse or drive, and it would not engage in reverse. It said I didn't have my foot on the foot pedal, or the brake pedal, I should say. Well, I could not move anywhere. Had to miss that meeting. Tesla was coming to tow the car until somebody called me and said, hey, we did an over-the-air update to reset your car after having me reset it for like 45 minutes. And finally, it was able to work. So I was able to get out of my parking spot. Funny enough, the car was able to auto summon and reverse itself. But when I was in the car, I couldn't get it into reverse to move the car out. That's technology for you. And that's why some of these bugs and people don't trust these cars. Other times we had issues opening the doors. The keys would not work and open the doors. It would not detect the key. I've had an issue where I could not roll down windows. I've had issues where it reset itself while it was parked. I would constantly be told by their tech support team that I need to reset my Tesla manually because it's like an iPad. That seems to be their common go-to for troubleshooting. Hey, just reset it. It's like an iPad. You know, your computer gets tired and you need to restart it. Even though everything's up to date all the time, they keep telling me to reset it. I still have the same problems with Bluetooth freezing, lagging, etc. But the very worst thing happened, and I was on the freeway with my family. We were driving about 70 miles an hour, maybe 75. All of a sudden, the Tesla freezes. So we're driving, and then all of a sudden this car rebooted and went black.
It went to 0 miles per hour.
We're on the freeway and we're panicking because all of a sudden all the controls go out on the freeway, and in San Francisco area, those by the airport, those freeways are busy. So I panicked because I didn't know if the brakes were going to stop working or the accelerator or anything. The turn signals would not work. All of the displays went blank and black. The display in the front went black. Turn signals could not work. As we pulled over, I had to just pull over without using turn signals. And then all of a sudden, the Tesla rebooted itself on the freeway with my kids in the back, with my wife. Luckily, the pedal for brakes was working. I didn't accelerate much. I don't remember if the accelerator was working, but the damn thing shut off. That was a scary moment for both myself and my wife, who was my passenger in the passenger seat at the time, because it's not common and we couldn't understand. And it took about 3 minutes for this whole process to reboot itself, from frozen point to reboot to getting back up and showing what actual mileage you're traveling. The lights went out. It was just, it was one of the worst experiences having this Tesla. So here's my overall opinion on the Model X. As a technology, we love it. We love the fact that you don't have to charge your car. We love the fact that you can get up and go, and every morning you're not worried about gas. We love the fact that you're not running an idle engine when you're parked waiting for someone. The climate works very fast when it works. The entertainment is great. The technology part, what it could be after a few years is amazing. The thought process of this car being a truly great commuter that could take you from point A to point B without you being involved is incredible, and something I don't want to go back to. So for example, until Range Rover, Bentley, Rolls, or any of these cars come out with auto driving or self-driving or any of these technologies that they soon will, so hold off potentially on buying your car because all these companies are coming out with it, I won't jump back into those because I don't want to commute and have that burden on me to constantly drive. It sounds weird, but I want to save my driving for when I get an exotic car, when I'm pushing that pedal to the metal or riding my motorcycles or doing things of that nature where I get to feel the car and really push it to the limit. Commuting, stop and go traffic, the Tesla is perfect. And I think that is the great part. So we can't go back, but we do want the Tesla to fix a lot of the features that are not fixed, and a lot of the features that I keep coming to their tech support for. Now I'll touch a little bit on their tech support. The other day I had a rattling issue. The whole car starts rattling anyway, and everything's shaking everywhere. And every time we go into tech support, they state that they can't replicate the problem or they fix the problem with an update by resetting it, etc. It's all kind of BS, and they make you feel like you are the dummy that is not understanding of what you have, like as if you're given this gift to drive this Tesla and pay $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 a month or whatever you're paying to have this car, and you should be thankful that you have these problems. But the rattling, the freezing, the Bluetooth, the car shutting down on and off, not being able to drive, doors on, not working, etc. Every time you bring it up to tech support, they say they can't either replicate the problem or they updated something and it should fix it. And then it's a continuous wheel of this happening over and over and over again. What's worse is at my location, they never have a rental for me. So the first time I did a video for you guys of their tech experience, they gave me a minivan. They said they would give me a loaner, and the loaner they are giving me is this super nice gas-powered van, which I found to be super hilarious. Now Tesla said they're going to reimburse me for gas up to $50 a day, but they ran out of, I guess, Teslas to give out, and they resorted to giving me a Dodge minivan, which I found to be the most hilarious thing out of this whole experience. I was like, what the hell is this? I paid for a Tesla and I got like a 19 or maybe a 2005 minivan, or 2010, let's say. I don't know what year it was, but it looked like a dinosaur minivan. It's not even a new minivan, and I couldn't believe it. And I did a video on that, so check that out. But their tech support, their loaner program sucks. They're not really accommodating to you to having any problems. That's my personal experience. And I hope you guys had better experiences, but be aware of that if you're buying a Tesla. They're going to look at you as if, hey, you grew up with a Windows computer that had viruses. Well, what's the problem with resetting your car every 5 days? So these things need to get hashed out. But once they do, and once competition comes in, it's only going to get better from all these competitors. creating a very good technology from all these companies that are getting into self-driving. So I look forward to that as well. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this 25,000 mile Tesla Model X update. I do have a Model Y still on order. I have yet to pick that Model Y up because I read an article that the Model Y next year will come out with about 200 more miles on the capabilities of the Model Y with its new battery system. So I don't want to get a Model Y that has already less range by about 60 miles than the Model X. And the way I see the Model X having the smaller range than what it actually states, the Model Y is only going to be a 180 mile to 200 mile an hour mile a battery charge car for me, and I'm worried about that, and therefore I don't want to pick that up yet if I could hold out. So I hope you enjoyed this review. Comment below if you have any questions about the Model X. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll catch you here in the next video.